Do you need it to start? No. I mean, cold email might be enough. Sending people letters might be enough just to get it off the ground. In an ideal world, in a perfect world, if you had the time and resources, you'd be on. So you'd have a brand, wouldn't you, as well? You'd do the YouTube videos. But again, it's, can you do it with, don't do it like me, stop, start. Can you do it with a cadence? Can you turn up, do it consistently and look good, and commit to it for 6 months, not just 3 weeks? So it's another commitment. Do you need it to start? No. I mean, cold email might be enough. Sending people letters might be enough just to get it off the ground. But then when you've actually got some momentum behind it and you want to dominate, and you might be thinking, okay, want to go grand scale with this. We're going to do the YouTube thing. We're going to do the social media thing. We're going to do the freebie funnel. We're going to do the paid training funnel, perhaps. And it starts to get complicated. So you're in a sort of the fork in the road, transition, which means you need to test and iterate. And I worry that you could make yourself a list of 100 things that you want to do, and then it makes it very, very difficult to test and very difficult to iterate, particularly quickly, because you're trying to do all the things at once. Yeah, so I'd do bare minimum, but with a long-term view. But perhaps YouTube works, let's be honest, but it's effort. And then you've got to question, well, who's the face of the brand, or are there many faces? What happens if they leave the business? And so on and so forth. Do you want to be the face? Or is that your job? Are you going to enjoy that? And so on. No. I can't say I enjoy it particularly, but I just force myself to bloody do it. So yeah, it starts to get very complicated. I think you've got enough to keep you engaged and busy for a good few months at least before you even have to consider the whole the Grant Cardone trip of being on your private jet and social media and Instagram. Yeah, look, social media can amplify an already great thing, and if you do it well and look at Alex Hormozy, put the energy into it, and you can clearly see it works. But my God, there's a lot of energy. For me, he's a social media persona now. It's what identifies him for me. As a bystander, and I don't want to ever be considered a social media personality. I'm a business person at the end of the day, so there is that, as well. Your ego gets in the way because you might not want to be known as that. I think if you've got a good business and a great offer, you don't need it, but it can amplify it once you get up to critical mass.
Qasim was literally banging on YouTube and all these social platforms. And if you saw the latest past podcast about 2 months ago, he signed off, and now he's not on the social platforms anymore. He signed off from Perpetual Traffic, the main podcast, Perpetual Traffic. He's no longer a part of that. He signed out. He said, I'm not going to do it. He said, because my business was solely relying on my face, and I don't want that to happen. That rang a bell into my mind. He was like, okay, I don't want to be a business that should be so reliant on my face that the moment I go away or back off, things started crumbling.
Yeah, and you got to understand that he's in a different position now. He sold the business, so he can say, oh, I'm off now. So the dynamic for him has changed dramatically. He sold the business, so he doesn't have to be on social media because it's not required to generate the leads. So I think if he was still running Solution 8 and hadn't sold it, I think he'd be very prolific like he always was. But he deserves the rest now. I know the bloody feeling. But hey, here's another thing. Email has been super powerful. So if you've got good freebies, then you could bypass the social media thing and just organically attract people to your freebies. So, and that could be free training, it could be free tools that support the specific niches you go after. So there is that avenue as well. But again, it complicates it because you've got to build the tool or the freebie. You've got to have the email flow that converts. So there are many avenues. There are many avenues. And of course, social media does supercharge the emails as well, because you can share your tools and stuff and advertise them on social media. I'm not suggesting that you wouldn't do that, but it wouldn't require a personality in front of the brand. And Perry said, don't advertise your free or low ticket offers. I would disagree. I used to advertise my free audit only because I could get a conversion for $3. So every 5 in 100 would turn into about a $400 or $500 purchase. So I knew I could afford to spend $3 to capture an email. So I disagree with him on that. I think you can afford to pay up front if you've got a converting funnel.